Hi, I'm here with Eve from Knights at the Game Table, and we're here today to show you how to play Warhammer 40,000. For those people that have seen the game on our channel but haven't yet played the game or are looking to get into the new edition, then this video is for you. I'm going to attempt to explain how to play the game in 10 minutes or less. Warhammer 40,000 is a game set in the year 40,000 where humans have expanded out into the galaxy and spend their entire time fighting against aliens, demons, and corrupted humans from other civilizations. You take control of one of the different forces. This particular box that we're demonstrating here is the First Strike box, which has everything you need to start playing a game, and it has two specific forces. It has the forces of the Ultramarines, which are the good space marines or genetically enhanced humans that are going through galaxy trying to spread the good word of humanity, versus the Death Guard, who are corrupted genetically advanced humans who in short want to stop them. The game is a turn-based strategy game, almost like a war game, where I will use all of my miniatures and go head-to-head against Eve and her evil miniatures over there.
Well, I wouldn't call them evil. It depends on whose side you're on. You know, my guys are actually good guys and your guys are evil, but that's what I would say. I like playing this game because on the higher level, it's not just about killing each other. It's about winning the game, which can be achieved by different ways. There is special missions, there is special objectives that you need to get, and there is special different quests you can accomplish in order to win. Not necessarily kill your opponent. Just like in real war, you don't just go to shoot guys, you actually start a war because you need something out of the other side. So that's how I like playing. I'm very focused on objectives, and I like being strategic in this.
At the start of the game, you'll choose your force based on a power level that tells you how good the unit is. The higher the power level, the more powerful the unit, and you both play to an equal level of power. So for example, on our channel, we typically play 50 power level games. However, in our private members site, we play up to 100 power level and sometimes even more. Each unit is represented by these cards that tell you what they can do. You've got all of the different statistics you'll need and all the weapons that they're armed with that let you know what that miniature can do within the game. At the start of the game, we both roll a dice to see who gets the first turn. Whoever rolls highest typically will get the first turn. And then you move through a number of different phases. In each phase, I'll get to activate every single miniature that I control. So first of all, I'm going to have the movement phase, and I've got this beautiful little statistic here that tells me that my intercessor, which is this little space marine here, and these guys can move 6 inches. And thankfully inside this box, we have this lovely little ruler that's 6 inches long. So what I do is put the ruler down next to the miniature, and then I can move it the measurement indicated on his statistics. And I'll do that for every single one of my soldiers. Sometimes you'll see us not use the ruler for the rest of the troops, as we know that if the first one moved 6 inches and the rest stay in vaguely the same position, we know they've all moved about the same. And then I get to do that for every single unit that I have. And then after my movement phase, I'll move into my psychic phase. We're not going to go into that right now because it's one of the more advanced rules and there's no psychic miniatures in this particular box. So after that, we move into the shooting phase. In shooting, and in fact all attacks in this game, it's typically done in a 3-step process. First of all, we aim using our ballistic skill statistic. After that, we compare the strength of our gun versus the toughness of our enemy to see what we have to roll. And then finally, they get to make a saving throw. So as I already mentioned, the ballistic skill is what I need to roll to hit. So here it says 3 or more, which essentially means I'll take 1 dice for every person shooting. In this case, 3 people, so it'd be 3 dice. And every roll of 3 or higher is a successful shot. So I managed to get one of them accurately hit. And now after that, we compare the strength of my gun, which in this case is a bolt rifle with a strength of 4, against the toughness of the enemy. In this case, I'm shooting a Plague Marine, and you can see on their statistic that they have a toughness of 5. So if the strength and toughness are equal, I have a 50-50 chance of doing it, or rolling a 4, 5, or 6 on a 6-sided dice. However, in this situation, the Plague Marine is tougher than my gun. They've got a toughness of 5 and I have a strength of 4. So now instead of it being even with a 4 up, I need to roll a 5 or higher. And if the toughness was double my strength, then I'd have to roll a 6. However, if my strength is higher, then of course that goes in reverse. Or if my strength is higher than their toughness, it would be a 3 or more, or if it's double higher, it would be a 2 or more. So let's see if I can kill this Plague Marine. I need a 5 or higher. Ha! A 6! Perfect. So a 6 successfully wounds the Plague Marine. Now we have to see if the Plague Marine's armor can save them. So I'm going to hand this dice to Eve. And Eve, you need to roll. If we have a look here, your save, your SV statistic is a 3+.
All right.
So you need to roll a 3 or higher to save that Plague Marine.
Oh, come on, little guy, don't die.
Oh, a 2. Sadly, the poor Plague Marine gets shot in the head and collapses. And I will complete that for every single one of my units. After I've finished my shooting, I move into my close combat phase. In my close combat phase, I get to do a move called a charge, where I'll roll 2 dice and move the amount of inches indicated. As long as that's enough to get me in range, then I'll start fighting in close combat. However, before that, my opponent gets to overwatch. In short, as I'm running in to go and punch them, they're gonna blast at me with their guns one last final time to try and stop me from doing it. So I've got these 3 Marines here who wanna go and charge at these ones. However, she's gonna get to shoot at me. So she has 2 shots, 1 for each person. However, these guys have guns that are rapid fire. They shoot twice.
Nice.
So at close range. So she's gonna roll 4 dice, but with Overwatch, you have to get a 6 to hit. 1-6. So because they're shooting right up close, they're not as accurate, but one of them did manage to shoot me, so you got a 6. And now we compare the strength of her gun against the toughness of mine. So we can see here, their bolt guns have a strength of 4 and S of 4, and I compare that to the toughness of my intercessor. I've got a toughness of 4. So as I mentioned earlier, if it's equal, it's 4 or higher, so you need to roll a 4 or higher on that dice.
All right, die.
A 1. You failed to shoot me. Haha, I don't need to make my armor save roll, and instead I'm gonna run towards them. So I roll 2 dice. I got a 3, which isn't actually a lot. However, 3 inches is enough to get me close enough to get into close combat. So now I have moved and I've completed my charges. I'll move into my close combat fight phase. So each of my people has 2 attacks, and I know this because the attack characteristic says 2. So I'm gonna need 6 dice for this one. And now this time, I'm gonna aim, but not with my ballistic skill, which is for shooting, but with my weapon skill, which is for close combat. Also a 3 or higher. So I roll 6 dice to get 3 or higher. 2 fails, but 4 hits. So 4 of my attacks were good.
Nice.
Now I'm gonna roll to wound, so I compare the strength of my intercessor, because I'm punching them with my fist, which is a strength of 4. If I had a close combat weapon, I'd be able to use that instead, but these guys are just gonna punch with their fists. Our fists are good enough, Eve. And we're gonna compare it to a toughness, which once again is a 5. So I need 5s or higher. 1 single 5. You guys are really tough. So now Eve will make a saving throw. Once again, it will be 3 or
3 up.
higher.
Come on, survive.
Oh,
man.
1! So sad. So I managed to punch this guy in the head and take him out. And now I've finished fighting. She gets to fight back. In the close combat phase, we both will attack each other. You've only got 1 guy left though, and we can see here on the A, he only has 1 attack. So she's gonna roll 1
what's
dice.
his weapon skill?
His weapon skill is 3 or more.
All
So
right,
you need
let's
3 or
do it.
higher.
Yeah.
1. You are not having much luck today.
Not at all.
It's not like when you play on the channel. So she failed to hit me, and that brings us to the end of close combat. And now we move into the morale phase to see if she runs away scared. 2 of her buddies died. There's only 1 guy left. In order to see if he runs away, she's going to roll a dice and add the amount of people that died. So 2 people died.
All right.
Roll a dice and add 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. The leadership of these guys is a 7. Which you have to roll equal to that or under, which of course you successfully did. If you'd have rolled a 6, 6 plus 2 would have been 8, it would have been over 7, and that last guy would have run away in fear. But he's not scared, and at the end of my turn, we would now move into Eve's turn, where she would take over. And play would go backwards and forwards like that, typically for 5 turns, or until one person met the victory conditions to win the game. Sometimes you have to secure objectives, sometimes you have to annihilate somebody's leader, and there's all different types of missions, which is why we love the game so much. What we're showing you guys here is the First Strike box set, which has everything you need to play the game. However, we found that the armies were a little bit unbalanced. The blue guys, the Space Marines, had 8 power level in the box, and the Plague Marines only had 6 power level. So we added this additional box of Poxwalkers, which was essentially the 2 power level unit, to make it 2 even squads of 8. The other cool thing about this box is everything is already pre-colored. A lot of the things that scares people away from Warhammer 40,000 is they think that the rules are complicated or that it's going to be difficult to assemble or paint the miniatures. We did these in a couple of minutes flat, and you don't even need glue. They literally just push to fit, and like I said, already come in pre-colored plastic. However, of course, you can paint up your miniatures incredibly nicely. In fact, we've got standing here one of the managers of Games Workshop in Las Vegas who gave some miniatures for us to show off on the channel, and these were some that he managed to paint in just 30 minutes or less. But don't let painting put you off playing the game. The game's an incredible game, and it's very easy to learn how to paint incredibly quickly as well. And the cool thing is the staff at Games Workshop are all willing to give you painting lessons completely for free. We play the game a lot on our channel. I've got Eve here because Eve is one of our top players, and she very rarely loses games out on the channel. So if you want to see a more advanced game, if you want to see a deeper game of Warhammer 40,000, then please feel free to check out the videos on our channel, and of course you get to see Eve play there. And if you want to learn more about the advanced tactics and some of the army design techniques that we use to build armies and some of the top champions use, then you can find our video series, The 4 Pillars of Army Design, in the link in the description beneath this video, and you can learn all about some of the tactics that we use in the videos on our channel. Finally, don't forget that every single month we give away a start collecting box of your choice from Games Workshop, and all you have to do to be entered for a chance to win is to leave a comment down below in any of our videos and share the video to be entered for that particular month. And that includes this video here. So do yourself a favor, leave a comment beneath this video and share this video and get entered into our monthly draw, and maybe you too could win a start collecting box of your choice and have all these awesome miniatures to play with. Finally, I want to say thank you so much for supporting us and watching our videos. From everybody here at Knights at the Game Table, I want to say thanks for being a supporter and look forward to seeing you next time on Knights at the Game Table.
To watch a full epic episode of Warhammer 40,000 on Knights at the Game Table, click the link below.